Hi guys, welcome back to the Tech Diary. I'm less prepared than normal, which for this channel is really saying something. By the way guys, if you've just found this channel, it's not always quite as bad as this, but it is fairly badly produced and off the cuff, which some people like and some people don't. If you don't like it, I don't care. The door's over there. If you do like it, I love you, and if you've been around here for quite a while now, I love you even more. Right, let's get everything in place. Now, the reason I'm a bit even more over the place than normal in today's video is because I want to have none of this stuff is relevant, by the way. I want to have an impromptu chat about AI. And the reason for that is because I need a prop for this. There is an almighty conversation going on a WhatsApp group I'm a part of, which contains lots of other tech creators, people like Pete Matheson, Patrick Rambles, Alex Gear and Tech, Paul Hibbert, many other people. I won't reveal all of them because that's not fair. Maybe some of them don't want to be revealed that they're in that group. I have no idea. But yeah, there's lots of us. We have a great laugh. They're lovely people. And it's a great support network. If any of you watching this do this for a living or even just for fun, you'll know that it can be quite a lonely endeavour making content. And oh dear, the horizon's off on this. Someone's going to moan about that. The fact that the camera is wonky. You know what? I don't care. Why am I changing that? Yeah, it can be quite a lonely endeavour, and it's just nice to have a bunch of other people who understand what doing this kind of thing is like. And it's the best job in the world, don't get me wrong, but other people who understand what it's like to run a creator business, they get what you're going through sometimes. And I think it makes such a difference to have those people to talk to and, to be honest, just have a laugh with. However, sometimes we hit on some fairly heavy topics, and the topic that is bubbling away in here at the moment as I film this, literally I had to break away from it to make this video because I want to ask you guys a question. The topic is AI, believe it or not. The kind of age-old, at the moment, topic of will AI replace what we're doing? Trust me, behind the scenes, behind the facade on YouTube that we all have of everything being amazing, all the rest of it, and me always waving my arms around, which annoys some people, by the way. I don't know why that annoys people. And I do not have ADHD, as far as I'm aware. That isn't the case. It wouldn't matter if I did, but people seem to think this is a bit weird sometimes. Trust me, if you put a camera in front of your face and start talking to it, you do act differently. If we met in the street, I wouldn't be waving my arms around. Don't worry about that. Anyway, totally off topic. But yeah, this age-old topic of AI being a real threat to this business, to what we do. And there's two schools of thought here on that WhatsApp chat. I won't tell you who falls on either what side, but I'll tell you in a minute which side I fall on. And the first one is the people who think AI is going to destroy what we're doing. Within the next year, maybe less, it's going to completely replace what we're doing because you can now type a sentence into a video generation platform, and within seconds have a YouTube video which looks like this potentially and does the job brilliantly, apparently. And because of that, we're finished basically. There's that camp, and the other camp is the people who think, who appreciate that, completely understand that technology exists and it's only getting better and better. What we have at the moment is the worst example of it, which is quite scary. But equally appreciate that we're some way off it completely destroying everything. Completely removing creativity as a thing. It still feels like quite a way off because we haven't seen the impact of that on our businesses and our audiences. I sit within that latter camp. I'm not scared of AI. I'm very wary of it, and I do see it as an opportunity. I think we use it already in this business. We don't use it to create content. This is me. I am real. I promise. I thought about playing on that then, but I promise you, this is me. This is not AI. We don't use AI to create content, but we do use it to brainstorm ideas, to come up with YouTube title ideas, which is obviously a very, very tricky thing to do. And it's nice to have AI do that. The ability to take a 50-page review guide for a new product and chuck it into ChatGPT and within seconds have a bullet point list of what matters is transformative. Honestly, it's so handy. So we do use it behind the scenes in this business. And I think even this prospect of, you know, video content being so easy to create just by typing stuff into a text box is equally interesting. It's not something I will ever want to replace me with on this channel or the main channel, but the idea of having that tool for a different channel, maybe for a completely different part of this business, is interesting. And as a business owner of a business that makes money from, you know, producing content and generating interest in that content, I'd be daft not to look at that and think that's an opportunity. So that's kind of where I sit with it. But I still think we're some way off this thing destroying what we do. You know, me no longer having a reason to come into this studio because AI has replaced me. I think that's quite a way off. The way that I look at it is that if you imagine a great big cake, if you take a tiny slice out of that cake, you know, if you're trying to be good, you just have a little slither, as my mum would say. You take a little slither of cake out of the whole. That slither contains the people who are either working on AI or comment on it regularly. You know, it's their job to look into that industry and write about it or make videos about it, whatever. It's the people who are really invested in it, either literally invested in it or just invested in it from an interest point of view. It's a tiny slice of that cake, in my opinion. The rest of the cake is everyone else. It's the world population. It's the people who are aware of AI, and they probably use it. Every laptop you walk past, every laptop I walk past in a coffee shop or wherever I happen to be, seems to have ChatGPT running. It's just there. People use it all the time. So that great big, you know, the rest of the cake, they probably use AI, or they may not use it at all, but they possibly do. But it hasn't seeped into their life any more than that they're aware of. Okay, they might interact with chatbots occasionally without knowing, and they might watch a piece of content on TikTok. And this happened to my girlfriend recently. She was showing me a video of a baby and a dog, a puppy and a baby, and one of them, they both did something funny, basically. One of them burped and the other one trumped or something, and it was very funny. But immediately I said that is AI. For two reasons. One, it looked a bit weird, and two, it had a Sora logo at the top. But she didn't realise that, to be fair. She just thought it was a funny. Although she did then say, I did think it looked a bit weird. But yeah, so those people may be unwittingly interacting with AI content, but I don't think it's seeping into their lives anymore. I think they're still watching the channels they want to watch on TV, the shows they want to watch on TV, the movies with the people, yeah, with the stars in them that they want to watch. I think they're watching the YouTube channels, and they're following the creators that they've followed for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And that is like I said, that is the majority, I think, of people on this planet at the moment. It's very similar to tech. I think I've always said that we operate, I include you in this because you're watching this video, so clearly you have an interest in tech. I think this world that we operate in, where we talk about the latest iPhone and we talk about the latest iPad and all these Android devices and stuff, it's again a very small part of the cake, very small. The best example I've got of this is Android phones. There are certain Android brands that I cover quite often on my other channel, the main channel, that my mates and my family have never heard of. The best example of this is Nothing. We're obsessed with Nothing in the tech industry, in tech review circles, and we're just obsessed with what they're doing with their phones, with the headphones, etc. And if I ask any of my friends who Nothing is, they haven't got a clue what I'm talking about. Their response is always, "What? Nothing? Well, that's what? That's the name of the company. What do they do? Phones? What sort of phone?" They just don't know who they are. And whenever that happens, it's a bit of a reality check for me. It's a reminder that I operate in quite a small part of the world in terms of in terms of tech and knowledge of tech, and the amount of time I invest in it, and the thought the amount of brain power it takes up. For most normal people, a lot of this stuff just doesn't register, which means most of those people, most of that cake is always behind. They're always behind on tech. They're not always getting the latest phone unless they absolutely need to, because their iPhone 12 Pro battery is dead. They haven't got the latest iPad. They may not even have a smartwatch. They've never heard of smart rings. The number of people I've spoken to recently who did not know that you could get smart rings. And Samsung makes a smart ring. And Apple are apparently looking at it and all this sort of stuff. They just have no idea. I think the same thing goes for AI. And I know AI is different insofar as you don't buy AI. You're more likely to be influenced by it by accidentally watching it or whatever. But equally, the fact there's no real knowledge about this beyond what people occasionally see in news articles, and maybe if it seeps into the national press because of a big AI story about antitrust or data capture or whatever, people just don't know. I think they're so far behind it, which is why people still invest in real human experiences. It's why vinyl is seeing a resurgence. We spoke, as in this business, we spoke to, I won't say who it is, but we spoke to a very well-known forum-based online entity, which, if you're into your TVs and into your hi-fis and stuff, you may have used this website. I certainly spent I've spent many years using it myself. But we spoke to the people behind that site, and they're saying that they've never seen growth, and not so much growth, but in terms of just numbers, that nothing has been going the wrong way on their charts. They're doing really well, and they're seeing an increase in interest in the site, and that's a forum is a very old form of the internet, but it's another example of where people, I think, still want that almost analog way of doing things and interacting with people. Same thing with this business. The main channel, Mark Ellis Reviews, has never consistently grown like it has done over the last 12 months, nearly 18 months, in terms of sub growth, what we've seen with average views, the interaction in comments, the engagement, all that sort of stuff. The website, markellisreviews.com, is just on fire. We keep appearing on page 1 for massive search terms for things like the iPhone and iPhone reviews, and we're battling with really big publications, which illustrates how much those publications potentially have fallen off the wagon, because, trust me, our website is not making us millionaires, but it is appearing on page 1 for so much stuff. And that's another example of a website that is not AI generated. All of the content on Mark Ellis Reviews is written by, or certainly edited by, a human being. It's human led. So that's really encouraging. The question I have for you, though, is has AI infiltrated your life from this point of view, from tech reviews and tech coverage? Are you seeing more AI content, or are you suspicious that you're seeing more AI content? And equally, do you like it or do you not like it? Are you worried about it? Do you fear it? Do you fear what this could be doing to creativity and what it could do to channels like this that might disappear at some point because AI is just overtaking everything? I don't know. Is that what's happening? Equally, is your feed appearing to be showing more AI slop, as they call it? Are you seeing more of that stuff on short form, on long form videos like this? Get involved below, guys. I really want to know your opinion on this, because that's the opinion that really matters. These WhatsApp groups with me and other creators, we get all, we have lots of ideas about this, and we kind of have these very good-natured debates about it, but we're so close to it. We don't watch our videos. I don't watch tech YouTube anymore. I used to. Shock horror. Maybe that's quite an admission. I don't know. I very, very rarely watch tech YouTube, so I don't really know what's going on beyond this business. So get involved in the comments. The other thing, guys, before I forget, at the time of filming, we are running a giveaway for the iPhone 17. This iPhone 17 in this box. I reviewed it on the main channel. I looked after it, don't worry. It's as good as new. It's pristine. But we're giving it away. And if you want to be within a chance of winning it, 2 things you need to do. Subscribe rather to this channel, and subscribe. I can never say subscribe sometimes. Subscribe to the newsletter. I should be able to say, I need to be able to say that word because it's very important. But subscribe to the newsletter. This always happens. I always start waffling. Newsletter. Subscribe to this channel, get on both of those, and you'll then find out within the next 2 or 3 weeks what we're doing with this in terms of the giveaway. But that's all you've got to do. Just subscribe to both of those things, the channel and the newsletter, and that's done. I can feel myself waffling and going down all sorts of literary cul-de-sacs, so I will shut up and let you get on cracking on doing whatever down in the comments and talking about AI. AI, that's hard to say as well. AI, artificial intelligence. What do you think? Get involved. I'm off to have a lie down. Cheers.